Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. In this video, we'll discuss the third problem of Leetcode BiWeekly Contest 90. It's a medium level problem. I would say a good problem to solve. So problem name is destroy sequential targets. The problem statement says that you are given a zero indexed arrays, nums consisting of positive integers. They represent targets on a number line. You are also given an integer space. So you have a machine which can destroy targets. Seeding the machine with some nums of I allows it to destroy all the targets with value that can be represented as the selected nums of I plus C into space, where C is any non-negative integer. You want to destroy the maximum number of targets in nums. Forget about the complexity. I'll explain you that in detail. Okay. Return the minimum value of nums of I you can seed the machine with to destroy the maximum number of targets, right? So let's see what it says is that, so suppose I have an array. I have certain numbers, right? Pick up the first example only, right? This is my first example, and I also have a integer variable space. Okay, it says that, forget about the machine and all, right? So it says that you need to pick up a value. Suppose you pick 3. Okay, now there is a function, there is an equation that needs to be satisfied. That equation is nums of I, okay, plus C into space. Okay, so this is a number that you select. Now this number can be any of the numbers present in your array. Okay, right? Now you select a number. Sorry, just a second. Yeah, you select a number, nums of I. This guy is given. Okay, and C can be any non-negative integer. Okay, so based on that, based on this, you will get certain numbers, right? You will get certain numbers. You can get infinite numbers, right? So it says that you need to return the, so obviously this equation will be satisfied. Now this equation will return you certain integers, right? So suppose you pick 3, right? And so 3 plus C into 2 equals to what could be the possible value. So if C equals to 0, so it will be 5. If this equals, sorry, if this is 0, it will be 3. If this is 1, it will be 5. If this is 2, it will be 7, and so on, right? So here you see, you need to find how this equation, right? How many numbers in this array is satisfying this equation when you put nums of I. So for each integer I, count how many numbers satisfy that particular equation, and whichever number satisfies, placing whichever number is able to satisfy this equation for most maximum numbers in the array, right? You need to return that number, right? And if multiple numbers are there, like for example in this equation, if you choose 3 and you choose 1, right? So if this satisfies 5 numbers and this satisfies 5 numbers, that means it is able to cover 5 numbers in this array, and this is also able to cover 5 numbers in this array. So you need to pick the min of these two, that means 1. Okay, this is what the problem is saying. Now let's just look into the equation, right? And first see what is the intuition based on which you can solve this problem, right? So this is the equation that is given, right? And this will give me some number, right? Simple stuff. Now this is a number that I will get, and I need to check that how many of these numbers basically are present in this array, right? So simple. Can I rearrange it to y minus nums of I equals to C into space, right? I can do this. Now what is this? This is my selected number, and this is a number that I'm testing, right? This is this is any number present in the array, and this is the number that I've selected from the array, right? And this is the equation. Now just see what this equation is saying. The difference that is present here equals to C into space, or can't I say y minus nums of I? This is something that I know, mod space equals to 0, right? If C into space is this number, then obviously if I take mod of this number with space, it should give me remainder as 0. Simple stuff, right? So in short, what I can say is, if I pick one number and I find the diff of all the numbers from that number, and I take mod with space. So whichever gives me 0, basically that satisfies this equation for the selected nums of I, right? So this is the transformed equation. Now let's see some more things, right? So you are taking mod with space of I, right? Now what I can do is, suppose if I take mod of y with space and I get x, and again if I take mod of this number with space and suppose if I get x, right, then don't you think this equation will be satisfied, right? You are taking mod of two numbers. For that to be equal to 0, mod of first number and mod of second number should be equal when I take it from a particular given number. If suppose this is x and this is y, then this equation can never be satisfied, right? Let's take some concrete examples. Like for example, if I take if my space equals to 3, right, and my number is suppose if I take 5 and let me take 8. So if so yeah, or 8 and 5, let this be larger, okay? So 8 minus 5, right, equals to 3, and if I take mod by 3 gives me 0. Now let's take separate mods. 8 mod 3 equals to 2, 5 mod 3 equals to 2. Here you see the mod is same, right? So actually mathematically what it is saying, it is saying that what do you mean by this? It says that it is basically space into some number, let's call it capital A, plus the mod that you get. And what is the second number? It is space into capital B plus x, if the mod is equal, right? Now if you take the diff, what will happen? This and this will cancel and space will be something like this. You will get A minus B, right? So just see, if you take mod with space, you will get 0. So what I mean to say, I proved it mathematically, but what I mean to say is, simply if in my array I find mod of every number with space, right, and suppose I create a frequency array, a map, whatever you say. So suppose there are numbers whose mod when taken with space gives me 3, and there are 10 such numbers. Suppose again, if the mod I get is 2 for 12 numbers when I divide by space. So that means I have 12 numbers whose mod is 2 when I divide by space. So that means obviously the smallest number which gives me mod as 2 will be my answer. Simple. These all numbers which have mod equals to 2 are basically lying in a set. This is the set that is satisfying this condition, and I pick the smallest value, right? Simple stuff. Let me just dry run it. Like I have explained you so much that I don't think a dry run will be needed, but still I'll do that. Okay, I'll pick up the smaller example, 6, 2 and 5, and space equals to 100. So the first thing that I do is I sort the array. I sort the array because what will happen? First I take the mod, and as soon, suppose I create a map, okay? So I get this map that I was telling you guys here, right? I get this map. So I know that the maximum frequency of mod of a particular mod is this. So I check which is the smallest number that gives me this mod. So I again traverse the array and I get that, right? So if you sort it, you get 2, 5, 6. Take the mod from 100. You get 2 is 1, 5 is 1, 6 is 1. That means one number has a remainder 2, one number has remainder 5, and one number has this. So you return 2 in this case because the maximum frequency is 1. All of them has 1, so you return the smallest one. Let's take a complex example, right? The second example that I have is 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6, space equals to 2. Again sort it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take mod, okay? So, sorry, take mod. How many numbers have a remainder of 0? 1, 2, 3. Okay. How many numbers have a remainder of 1? 1, 3, 5. Again 3. Just see. Frequency is same here, right? Frequency is same. Now, that means I pick up the number. I picked up the smallest number which has a mod of 0. Right? Which has a, sorry, which has a mod of, yeah, basically no, not this one. These two have what I call it, these two have same frequency. That means I have the same bucket. Now I start traversing my array. Not 0, 1, not 0, 1. I probably I said the wrong statement. The correct one is I have 3 numbers whose mod is 0. I have 3 numbers whose mod is 1. That means find the smallest number, right, which lie in any of these buckets. Because these two buckets are valid for me, because okay, I go to 1, I take mod with 2, I get 1. Now I check how many numbers have mod equals to 1. It is 3, which is equal to the maximum number that I can get. So I return the smallest number, my answer equals to 1, right? Simple stuff. So I think I have explained you in detail. Let's just go to the solution. Pretty easy stuff, I would say. It's just that I would say it's an observation based problem, but a good one, a relatively good one, which we have been getting in the previous contest. So yeah, very good problem. So on line number 3, I've sorted the array. Line number 4, taken a map. Line number 6 to 8, just see what I've done. I've calculated the remainder. Now I could have done it in the same line, but this is for the readability. Writing clean code is also very important, right? Your code should work, obviously that is the first priority, but you should write code so that it is people are able to understand it. So that's why on line number 7 you see what is your remainder, and then you update your map dot put remainder. If you don't have that, put it, else increment the frequency. On line number 11, I see what is the maximum frequency that I have. So max frequency equals to collection.max map.value. Simple. Now I traverse my array. I see which is the smallest number which is lying in a bucket whose count is equals to the maximum frequency, right? So map.get remainder equals maximum frequency, just return the nums of I, because this is the smallest number, because I have my array is sorted. Or at last return nums of I have done this because actually I'll be returning my answer from line number 16 only. I'll never come to line number 19 ideally, right? But obviously the code says that you need a return statement, right? Because the code doesn't know that it will never come to this condition. I do not have an else condition, right? So yeah, this is the explanation. I hope you learned something new from this video. Do support it by giving up a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel. Also, in case you have any queries, do mention that into the comments. I'll be more than happy to revert on each one of them. Also, yeah, most of the viewers of this channel have not yet subscribed, so it will be very motivating if you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you like the content, do hit the like button as well. Let's keep a like target of all the maximum value that we can have if you like the content. Okay, so yeah, take care, have fun, bye bye.